Hello, it is Wednesday, so it is time for my weekly market update, a little overview of real estate activity in LaFleur County. So let's see what's been going on. So, new listings, there were 21, so incredible listing activity this last week. 0 to 100, there were 4, 1 to 200, there were 9, which is a lot, and that is a very popular price point in our area. 2 to 300, there were 4, 3 to 400, nothing. 4 to 500, there was 1. 500 and up, there were 3. So listing activity in almost every price point, which is good. That says for buyers that there's more inventory out there for you to choose from. So that's great news. Pending, meaning they have gone under contract, they're doing inspections, appraisal, title work, that kind of thing in preparation for closing. There were 5 of those. 0 to 100, there was 1. 1 to 200, there were 2. Nothing in the 2 to 300, there were 2 in the 3 to 400, and nothing in the 400 and up. Closed, meaning the buyer now owns the property and the seller got their money. There were 8 of those. 0 to 100, there was 1. 1 to 200, there were 3. 2 to 300, also 3. Nothing in the 3 to 400, and then 1 in the 4 to 500. Nothing in the 500 and up. So pretty decent activity, but it's definitely listing is where the action was. I did, as I've been doing for several months, look at price reductions. There were 22 price reductions in LaFleur County in the last week, which is quite a bit more than we've been seeing. But what that says is that sellers are becoming a little more realistic about their price expectations, and they're becoming more motivated to find that right buyer for their property. So that is, again, great news for buyers that are in the market right now. So if I can help you with any of that, I would love to. Just a couple of little tidbits. I like to give you a little real estate insight at the end of my videos. So what I'm kind of seeing that sellers' mindset is, some sellers, not all, is that they tend to want to price the property based on what their neighbor or their friend got a few years ago. A few years ago, meaning when we were in the COVID craziness of real estate, when prices were high, things went fast, that kind of thing. You just have to remove that mindset that that was an artificially made environment for real estate that I don't know if we'll ever see again. But you have to just look at what has happened in the last 12 months. And so that's how an appraiser looks at it. Buyers are also very savvy about what things are going for because you can see all of that online these days. So it's very important to have reasonable expectations about pricing. And then get your property in good shape. Buyers have expectations that things are going to be in good working order and that things look neat and tidy. You don't have to go crazy, but just things need to be done, go ahead and do them. Or if you're under contract and there's a home inspection, don't be too difficult about that. And then when you're in negotiations with the buyer, there's got to be some give and take. We're not in a seller's market right now, I don't feel like. It's kind of a balanced market, but there has to be some give and take in negotiations. So everybody has to give a little and make the deal work for everyone. So this is Amy Hull with Keller Williams. Have a great day.